Hello everyone, Ash here from Fluffy Welsh Geeks. Thank you for clicking and listening. Uh, no Let's Plays this week. Having a bit of a break. Mike's feeling a bit under the weather, so we're both taking a bit of a break. Um, because we haven't got time to fit it all in. Really, I mean, we both work. Um, I'm still sorting out the house I've just moved into, and so many ideas I want to do and get underway. You got to find time for yourself. And even just doing this right now, talking about a film, is actually more relaxing and way easier to get out there to you lot. Um, so thanks for listening. And thanks to those who have watched the Let's Play so far. If you haven't, you can check them out on here, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Um, they'll be coming back next week. What is it? I got the last 5 episodes of Sonic Forces, so that'll be finishing next week. When I get that up. Um, me and Mike have started playing some other games. You might have watched last week. We started playing the original Legend of Zelda. I'm really liking that. Looking forward to that. And I might actually get around to recording one that I might play by myself. Bit of a nostalgic trip. It's a PlayStation game I used to play a lot. I think a lot of people did as well. Yeah, I'll give a hint. It's based off a Disney film. Just gonna say that. So yeah, I might get around to doing that. So here we are. I'm gonna talk about Marvel's Black Widow. This came out last week, 2 weeks ago, I think. I can't remember. It was meant to come out last year. Um, this is a film I think a lot of fans wanted. I think probably since the first Avengers, and I personally feel okay. The story. So the story we got in this takes place after Captain America: Civil War and before Avengers: Infinity War. So majority of the Avengers are in jail. Hawkeye, Ant-Man, uh, uh, Wanda, probably, and Steve Rogers, Captain America, is on the run. Oh, and Falcon, he was in jail as well. And Black Widow is. So she is at the beginning of this film. She's just like, right, I'm getting out of Dodge. I'm not getting involved. Gonna maybe try and regroup. I actually don't know what she's gonna do. Um, you're left wondering, is she just gonna leave him in jail? Um, so she goes off to hide in Norway, I think, and then his sister, kind of sister, gets in contact with her because the Black Widow program is still up and running. For those who don't know, Black Widow, well, you've obviously gathered from her mentioning like her backstory. She was raised to be an assassin, a killer. Um, since a very young age, manipulated, and Russia implemented this program to put these women and infiltrate them into like, oh my god, empires, societies, corporations, to bring down governments, assassinate world leaders, start wars, whatever. Um, she was psychologically manipulated, tortured, her body was altered, but she broke free of this, and she decided, nope, enough's enough. I'm getting out here. I'm going to go with Shield, and she becomes an Avenger. So when her sister gets in contact, saying this is all back up and running again, and there's this guy who I want to say his name is Dracoff. He's played by Ray Winston, doing a really fun Russian accent, and he's starting this program up again, but he's gone into sort of more biological ways of controlling the women. So before it was psychological, now it's something to do with, I can't remember if it's something to do with implants or there's something in the brain. I don't know. But anyway, Natasha's sister breaks free of this. She realizes what's going on. She discovers a cure. She sends it to her, to Black Widow, in hopes of her, I don't know, her Avenger scientist buddies coming up with a way to sort of make more of it. Um, so then Tasha goes and meets up with her sister. Then they find out, well, we gotta we gotta find our kind of mum and kind of dad. They'll be able to tell us where the Red Room is. The Red Room is the official name given for like the HQ of the Black Widows, I think. Now, see, you're probably wondering, does Ashley know what he's talking about? Well, I'm just talking off of vague things here because, again, we're not given a lot of detail into this society. We're just told about it. We never see it. But again, I'm going to get to that point. Um, so they find the kind of mum, the kind of dad, the kind of sisters played by Florence Pugh. The only thing I've seen her in is Family Fight in the It was the wrestling film where she played Paige. She was good in that. She stole the film for me. I'll get to that later. Rachel Weisz plays the kind of mum. You guys would probably remember her from the Mummy films. That's what I remember her from. And David Harbour, as we all know, is the sheriff from Stranger Things. And that Hellboy film, and that's a whole different thing. I'm not going to get into that. And he plays the Red Guardian. This was Russia's answer to Captain America. So yeah, they all get together and try to take down the Red Room. In the meantime, a popular Marvel villain called Taskmaster is sent after them to put a stop to him. I didn't like the story. I'll just go and say it. The things I did like about the film, it's a typical Marvel film. It wasn't an amazing Marvel film. It wasn't the worst Marvel film. It was just an average, typical by-the-books Marvel film. I liked, for me, Florence, is it Florence Pugh? I'm sure it is. The one who plays the sister. She's my favorite. She stole every scene. I just love the way that she just everything just seemed natural. Just the way she ad-libbed and her fight scenes. She's just so badass, and she's very intimidating. But also, she was funny. She was adorable. She was cute. I don't know. It's a weird thing to say about some sort of assassin Black Widow person. But you can definitely get the sister kind of connection between the two, and I like that. And David Harbour, fun as Red Guardian, a little bit wasted, I thought, though. I'll get to that after. And Rachel Weisz was fine in her role. Again, some nice cute moments between her and David Harbour's character. I did like him. Ray Winston was just completely forgettable as the villain. Taskmaster. Now, Taskmaster, this Marvel villain, I don't know much. I don't know much about Taskmaster. I recognize him from the Marvel Spider-Man game, and he is in that crap Avengers game that came out last year. And his thing is he can mimic fighting styles from all the Marvel superheroes. So you got a glimpse of it in this. He's got the Captain America style shield combat, Hawkeye's bow, and the Black Panther kind of fighting style, but also mimicking Natasha, Black Widow's fighting style. That's pretty insane. How do you fight something that fights exactly like you and can predict what you're going to do? That's pretty insane. I like the look of Taskmaster. I did. It was really cool. The armor, the mask, the hood. I thought Taskmaster looked good. You do find out who Taskmaster is in this. I genuinely didn't have a clue who it was going to be, or if they even needed to reveal who it was, but for the sake of the story that they used in this, you can kind of guess who it is the minute a certain character is introduced, and you're like, oh, well, okay. I'm not going to be surprised, and then when it happens, it's like, oh my god, yeah, okay, great. It didn't really give a wow. So the actors, the main heroes, and Taskmaster prior the reveal and the look I liked. The music was really cool. It was this kind of operatic, sort of chorus of singing and epic music, especially when Taskmaster showed up. That was pretty fun. And when the humor hits, it is funny. Some bits are funny. Um, and the beginning as well was actually really good, setting up these characters and sort of giving you an insight into the Russian, infiltration that was going on. Um, and I like the ending as well. How like the end, well, the start of the ending big fight scene, how they infiltrated it, and it cuts back, and okay, you got to remember these guys are spies. They've been trained to do this, so that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna go into spoilers for this video, this little audio review thing. So just the bad stuff. The only bad stuff is just subjective. It's just my opinion. I didn't want this kind of story. Um, how I really would have wanted it to happen is okay. Yeah, it does start off with Natasha and oh, sorry, I don't know. I can't remember the sister's name in this, but it starts off when they're younger, like I think in like early 90s, late 80s, um, and they're pretending to be an American family in America, and they've been told they got to leave, and you can kind of get a sense that they like this family um act that they're putting on. Because Rachel Weisz's character, she's like, "Oh, I don't want to go," and it feels quite sincere. And then when they let the girls go and they have to go into the program again for Black Widows, they do generally feel disheartened by it. Um, and then it's got this really cool version of, um, oh god, "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana. Really, really cool version over the credits. And that's another thing, credits. We haven't seen a lot of credits in Marvel films lately in a long time. They literally just start with a Marvel logo. You'd be lucky if the title even shows up. Otherwise, they just jump straight in, which I don't mind. But it worked right in this. Um, and then we cut to after Captain America Civil War. Natasha's on the run. And then it cuts to her going, just disappearing. Now, at that point, I would have liked there to have been the flashback. And then we get our film. Because there's a running joke when Natasha and Hawkeye, they're fighting. They keep bringing up Budapest. They keep bringing up this mission, and people always wanted to know, well, what's the Budapest? What's this mission? What's going on? What did they do? What happened? And Natasha's always saying like she's got red in her ledger, and apparently my mate mentioned something to me in the interrogation scene in the first Avengers when Loki is in that holding cell and Natasha's talking to Loki, but she's interrogating him by him having a go at her. I want to go back and watch that because apparently he mentioned something there that is referenced in this film. But again, in this film, it was referenced. It was just talked about. It was shown. Like we had one tiny little brief flashback for a few seconds, and then again, everything was just talked about. And I kind of feel that would make a more interesting film. Still put these characters in. Her sister, Red Guardian, Rachel Weisz's character, Taskmaster. Still have them there. But give us a proper origin for Black Widow. Show us, yes, the beginning, the credits for the little girls that go through this really harsh training, and then, boom, we've got villain Black Widow. We've got this, because this is the story of Black Widow. It's the same in the comics, and she's talked about it in the MCU. But again, very briefly, she was a Russian spy. She did terrible things. Very, very bad things. But then she got to a point where she was like, you know what? I can fight this. Enough is enough. I want to join the good guys. SHIELD, the ones who are doing good, who are trying to do good for the world. So then they get her, they say, right, do this for us, and we'll let you in. Prove that you want to get out of there, and we'll take you. That could have been a whole film. The first half of this film, show her doing all these bad things and her struggling with her brain and what the hell's going on with herself. She meets Hawkeye. She has a fight with Hawkeye or something. And during this fight, she ends up doing something that contradicts what she's meant to be portrayed as. Hawkeye gives her that sort of chance. Do you want to join us? You haven't got to have Samuel Jackson in it, but a mention of Nick Fury wouldn't hurt. And then and then his sister could be the one conflicted. You know, it's like, well, no, we work for Russia. What's going on? And then Red Guardians, there could be all these different things going on. Like she could work with Taskmaster, and then when everything goes all to pot towards the end, she ends up fighting Taskmaster. Her dad, the Red Guardian, like ends up protecting Natasha. The mum pretends to defect, but then chooses to stay behind. But then she's secretly like, I'm still on your side, but I'm gonna stay here. And the sister could be completely conflicted and be like, well, I need to stay here. All these different things could have been explored. But no, it wasn't. That was what I was gutted about. Because I just felt like I was watching a bog standard Marvel film. So I was really let down by the story. On top of that, though, the action was good. Apart from the end. There were some good chase scenes, some really good fighting scenes. Like, I think Natasha and her sister's fight scene in the apartment was great. That was awesome. If my voice sounds a bit funny as well, by the way, I'm wondering if it is picking it up on the mic, but I got the fan on in the background. It is boiling today that I'm recording this. It has just been scorching. So, yeah, just so you know. So, yeah, the action was good. The Taskmaster fight scenes are good. Red Guardian does fight Taskmaster. Unfortunately, it's not great. Again, David Harbour was wasted in this. Action-wise. So, yeah, and I can't really go in. I can't go into any more detail without spoiling it, and I don't want to spoil it. This is just my opinion. Will I put it in the Marvel collection on Blu-ray? Yes, probably, because I'm all about collecting stuff. Is it the story I wanted for a first solo Black Widow film? No. Is it the worst thing I've got? No. Is it the best? No. It is just, to me personally, it was average. But I would warn as well, if you're going to take young kids to this, just make sure they're prepared. I think this is a 12. I'm sure it's a 12A. So just be prepared. All of us were exposed to dark stuff when we were younger. For me, Watership Down, Secret of Nim. Some pretty dark stuff in quote-unquote kids' cartoons. And quote-unquote kids' films. So this could just be one of those things, because, they could be like 10 years old or something watching this, and then like 20 years later they'll be looking back at it thinking, oh my god, that Black Widow film was dark for a kid's film. So I'm not saying don't take them, I'm just saying, just be warned. There might be stuff where the kids might freak out and be like, oh my god, what's happening to the pig? You'll understand that if you watch it. Yeah, I can't, not much else to say about it, unfortunately. Scarlett Johansson was still great as Black Widow. She was still badass. I loved her outfit. You can see it in the picture here. She's got the classic black outfit with the gold belt and the gold wrist gauntlets. Oh yeah, and by the way, looking at this picture right now that you can see on the video, if you're watching the video, or if you're not watching on the background, the guy on the far right, who's next to Florence Pugh, I don't know who he is. I completely forgot about him. He's this guy who apparently helps Natasha out getting stuff. No idea who he is. I don't know if he was a character in the comics. I have no idea. Right, so just so you know. So why he's on the poster, I have no idea. This is like the main poster. You got Taskmaster in the top left, Red Guardian, Rachel Weisz, you got the main players. Why he's on there, I don't know. 2 minutes? 3 or 4, I think he has entire screen time. 5 at a push. I don't know. But yeah, it was a standard Marvel film. If you're just one of these people who just watches Marvel films just on the side and you just like watching them and you don't pay much attention, then by all means you'll probably really, really like it. And major MCU fans will really probably like it as well. Me personally, I just thought it was average. Wasn't the story I was expecting. And yeah. One on the site. There is one post-credit scene though. I will let you know. I know there always is one, but it was interesting. And all I'll say is it sets up it does kind of set up something else that's coming out for Marvel. So that's about it, really. Come back to me tomorrow because I'll be talking about another Marvel thing that hasn't long finished. So, yeah. Cheers, guys. Thanks for clicking and listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.